at the center spot, ready to get things started here for the Crows.
Let's play some soccer, Eric.
Whistle blows, and we are underway. Back to Haight, making a start tonight. First touch for Martin Brown. That's Baltide on the far side, earning a throw-in for Lacrosse.
Not necessarily what the start you want for being the player to watch, but it's early.
It's one touch.
Yeah.
Speaking of one touch, we want to thank some of the great companies that make Minneapolis City soccer happen, and that starts with Ride with 2 I's. Download the app today. Also thanks to Twin Cities Orthopedics, Summit Brewery, best brewery in town. We love Summit. You see them prominently displayed on the jerseys of Minneapolis City. And Palmer's Bar. Get 3 points, go to Palmer's Bar.
Get 3 pints.
And get 3 pints at Palmer's Bar. Goya Foods as well. We love Goya Foods.
Can't forget about Goya. It's like a lot of backwards and side to side.
Kent, one of the goal scorers last week. First opportunity for Minneapolis City, trying to find a way forward. Kid making a run. Stepping in is Frabler, number 20.
It was a good idea on that play from Oliver. Not necessarily playing the ball right away, but trying to let the run set up. Just, again, in that final third, the execution on that pass, not as crisp as we're looking for.
Indeed. It's Jonah Garcia with the ball now. Wearing number 4, not number 29. And a collision just inside the 18 as the flag was up. It's Whitney Brown and Alamos. Hopefully the Lacrosse netminder's okay. Good thing for Minneapolis City last week, and I mentioned it early on, was the aggressiveness of Whitney Brown. And kind of a spot that we were intrigued to see how he would handle that position. Saw him coming back a bit to control, help possess moving forward, but very aggressive in his run making there.
The other thing we saw out of Whitney last week was his hold-up play. So it'll be good to see how he kind of adds on to that this week to maybe give the defense a different look than what he had last week.
There's the aforementioned Whitney Brown. Throw in for Minneapolis City.
And then the ball girl just domed him in the face.
Adams. Nieto pushing forward. Baltide. Frabler again. He'll push across to Parslow. And Nieto, nice flick to Parslow. Physical play from Kent. Rodriguez on his feet trying to play it for Lacrosse, but no go. Now Stiegwart back to Garcia.
It's a good no call by the ref. Just letting the guys play early on.
Certainly a bit of contrast, a ton of fouls called a week ago. Minneapolis City was here against Dakota Fusion. Ken Hammer with the interception. Nieto trying to find Aaron Pike. Pass too far. Martin Brown up against it here. Now some space. Oliver can move forward. Nearly a gaff by Parslow. Ultimately still able to clear it out. Nice timing on that run by Whitney Brown. Onside by about a hair on his head.
Good ball outside to Will
Switching now
Kidd.
to Will Kidd.
Great first touch.
He'll move inside. He'll find Whitney Brown, the one touch. Taken in by Alamos.
That was fantastic play by Will Kidd to bring that ball down and into your path that you're running towards, and then to be able to make that move down. You just wish Whitney would have maybe gotten a little bit more on that, and obviously pick out a spot not where the goalie's standing.
Patience feels like the name of the game here, as through the first, we enter the 6th minute here at Edor Nelson. And one thing that Lacrosse is not afraid of doing is just sitting back and trying to stone you at midfield. But slowly but surely now. Oof.
Oliver is just unlucky on like 3 chances there.
That's Mousset. Looking again long for Aaron Pike.
Good
Not
step
able
by
to
Olsen.
connect.
Here's where you're looking for the back line to try to find one of the center midfielders. Not necessarily Charlie Adams as the deep lying center midfielder, but looking to maybe place something in those pockets on the ground to Martin or maybe even Whitney checking too.
To the credit of Lacrosse, however, the pockets of space significantly smaller in the midfield than a week ago against Dakota.
Yeah, there were acres of space there.
A lot of green, my friends. And that doesn't include the big green bus. Now Oliver.
No Wi-Fi though.
Stigwart. Eighth minute at Edor Nelson.
Good ball movement by the Crows.
Kid inside for Oliver. Can he get the right foot on it? Saved by Alamos. No rebound given. And we remain scoreless here in the 8th minute. Very strong opportunity for the Crows. Just unable to find some open space in the net.
You gotta think it's gonna happen soon, Eric, right?
Very much so. Kent.
Good
Whitney,
turn.
nice turn. Through to Kidd. He does have Haight behind him. He's looking to move inside. Cross it to Martin Brown. Back to Whitney with the one touch.
Oh, man.
And another save by Vicente Alamos.
Wow, that was a great save.
Fantastic stop.
But although they're not going in, it's really good to see that the right runs are being made and the setup play is there. It's going to be a matter of time until I stop saying that's a positive and we move into the negative category. We're going to have to start bearing some of those chances in order to put teams away in our conference.
You have to feel like Alamos can't stand on his head for 90 minutes, however. So the key is the setup and everything is fantastic. You mentioned a key to the game being finishing. Now it's time to finish.
Absolutely.
Throw in for Lacrosse on the far side.
Plus the general blood flow to your head for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It can't be good for you.
Absolutely not. Pike. Now Nieto from distance. Not a chance in. It was not a great opportunity as Martin Brown.
Fans enjoying the
Beautiful pass to Oliver. However, tough first touch. He does control it.
fans enjoying the brief Marty party that was that individual skill there.
Oliver just fighting with Espelin for control. Tough pass by Whitney, but he should be able. Might be trapped in the corner. Now Adams in the mix.
It was very much so one of those, here, you take it.
He tried to flick it back to Oliver. I don't think Oliver had any idea that that was what the plan was. Centering for Martin Brown. Left foot blocked by Parslow. And now a race.
Oh, man.
And it's Aaron Pike on the turf.
I understand there's an injury there, but I would be very angry if I were Lacrosse. They had an opportunity to go to goal.
That was Devin Kenhammer racing and winning said battle with Mark Haight.
I mean, you obviously want to take care of the player that's injured, but being that it's on the absolute other side of the field, the number 9 right now is Zach, what's his name?
Devin Kenhammer.
Kenhammer, thank you, Eric. He's beside himself, wondering why he wasn't able to continue to go to goal there. But we hope the Lacrosse player is okay.
Aaron Pike, who did leave the field, now talking with one of Lacrosse's assistants. Clearly not severe enough for him to be subbed out as he is making his way to midfield. He'll be returning shortly.
Nice little bit of sportsmanship there by Will Kidd.
Long-held tradition, simple pleasantry. Passing it back to Alamos. Pike is back on the field for Lacrosse. Power play is over. Both teams at full strength. Twelfth minute, several scoring opportunities. A couple in close range for the Crows, unable to close. Still 0-0 here at Edor Nelson Field. Free kick. Nieto on the ball. Omar Nieto. Kenhammer trying to keep the play in the box.
Some good clearance by Max Kent. One thing we didn't mention on the opening run-up of the game today was that Max Kent was actually voted into the All-NPSL Team of the Week with his goal performance last week versus Dakota Fusion.
As you see, Adams took a beating last week. He was on the turf several times, muscled his way through it. Some sort of collision with Nieto actually shoved Lacrosse number 11, Omar Nieto.
Oh, bad pass by Max Kent.
Now heading the other way, Aris, Kenhammer, and he'll cross it in, and that's in the straight.
They're giving a corner kick.
Would that have deflected off of Haight? I did not think that I saw a deflection.
Neither does Mark Haight. But that play was set up again by another errant pass from our back line into our midfield. Those are the things that kill you. If you if you keep doing that, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Lacrosse, but you do that to forwards who are lethal, and you get punished big time.
Nieto into the mix. Now potential header from Rodriguez, but he whiffs on it. Lewagi up over everybody.
The advantage of being 8 feet tall.
Martin Brown. Now Stigwart.
Good ball into the path of Oliver. Ooh.
That's Espelin controlling for Lacrosse. Valtiti. Throw in for Lacrosse. Get to MPLSCitySC.com, whether it's merchandise, checking out the new kits that were released several weeks ago, learning more about the club, their U23s. A lot of things happening for Minneapolis City and the Crows right now. Easiest way to learn about all of it, just get to MPLSCitySC.com. Very poor touch by Haight. Max Kent there to save the day.
The ball that was played into Mark didn't really do him any favors.
Waggy back to track it.
At this point, you'd like to see Troy pick that up and just kick it into next week to clear the lines.
Crows getting very cute with the ball in their own end right now.
Yeah, definitely need to clean that up.
They are awarded a throw in here. Maybe a bit too loose with the visiting lacrosse at the moment. Garcia, one of the 2 goal scorers from a week ago.
Another errant pass from the back line.
43rd minute. Coach Van Benschoten will be moving Kent and Garcia to forward pretty soon if the passes don't improve along the back line. Throw in Minneapolis City. Quick restart. Whitney Brown. Stigwart with space.
Good ball.
Through to Adams. Brown with some space. Can he get the left foot? Oh, so close and just left of the woodwork. Goal kick. Lacrosse.
That was a great run by Martin Brown.
Absolutely phenomenal run and move by Martin Brown to get that space. Did exactly what he needed to do with the one-time left foot. Just wrong side of the post. And another scoring opportunity for Minneapolis City. Frabler, a header towards Pike. It'll be Olsen that controls it. Now Baltiti. And Olsen surrendered the throw-in. Crows faithful in attendance tonight. Beautiful crowd here at Edor Nelson. Thank you once again for joining. I'm Eric Nordquist, John Bisworm, the do-it-all man for Minneapolis City.
I wasn't the kit man this week. Someone else watched him.
He was handing out hot dogs 20 minutes before kickoff, and now he's up here analyzing. Another through ball for Martin Brown.
Dropping what brief knowledge I know about the game.
Brief knowledge. That's all it takes. Too far from Alamos. Nice job by Lacrosse, swarming Whitney Brown. Now Baltiti. Bit of miscommunication there with Rodriguez. Otherwise, they may have had something there. Lewegi will play it on the ground. Bit of space for Adams. And Stigwart. Nobody home. Throw in Lacrosse.
It's like there was a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Very much so.
Marquette had initially made a move like he was going to be making that end line run, but I think as soon as Max put his head down to play the ball, that's where things changed a little bit.
Again, patience the name of the game. Nearly 20 minutes into this one. Crosse, for the most part, doing a great job in the middle of the field, taking away space and opportunities, closing down as quickly as possible. However, we've seen already where they can just find small little channels and passing lanes that they're getting the opportunities on net. Now Stigwart. Part of it, you feel like it's got to be decision making. Stigwart holds on to that a bit longer than he needs to, and his options go away. Free kick, though. Martin Brown winning a free kick.
It's an interesting foul.
bit of a jersey and a shoulder grab. I think it was Nieto. See how they handle this. Chip in. It'll be Max Kent with the header. Offside.
I don't know about that one. He ran past the guy to get to that header. But whatever. It was a nice ball by Max Stewart.
Very much. Alamos into play. Olsen wins the header. Adams forward to Oliver. Whitney making a run. He is onside from Frabler. Oliver trying to dribble through Nieto when he had two options, both Brown brothers making runs.
Would you see what's now happened is the fact that he was very indecisive as he was trying to figure out what he was going to do. And a simple 5-yard pass to Whitney Brown would have allowed him to move off the ball and potentially get it back. Instead, we almost had a counterattack opportunity. Those are the things that we absolutely have to clear up.
Counterattack rendered harmless. Through ball way too far for Ken Hammer, and now here we are. Far side throw in for Lacrosse. Evan Espelin into Pike. Now pestering Olsen. Adams back to Kent.
Charlie Adams is pretty much having a field day with time on the ball.
All scoring chances going the way of the home team here. The longer the scoreline remains 0-0, the longer that Lacrosse maintains hope and aggression. Ken Hammer.
Good step by
Nice
Adams.
step in by Adams. Ooh. Quickly turned over.
Nice ball.
Whitney Brown, Oliver making a run down the center of the field. And a right-handed shot and a goal by Whitney Brown. Perfect placement. May have been shielded by the defender, but a beautiful curving ball by Whitney Brown. And in the 23rd minute, it is 1-0 Minneapolis City. You wanted finish, finish, finish. You had the patience. Now you got your goal.
Now it's back. I think it got to a point where Whitney Brown said, forget this, I'm going to take it myself.
And from about 20 yards out, it certainly didn't hurt. Looked like it was Sebastian Musset who was trailing him in. And I thought the play was to pass it to Oliver in that situation, making that run down the center of the field. And apparently so did Lacrosse, because he found just a small window. And Whitney Brown, first goal of the 2019 season, beautiful right foot on the ground, and it's 1-0 here, Minneapolis City.
His ability to keep it low and hit it through traffic was fantastic. Let's see if that doesn't spark him and see if he can get another one here.
And that was the key, is through the traffic. Late reaction by Alamos, really didn't have an opportunity there. Good in close range. Tough shot to block by Alamos.
Where that all started from was a win defensively in the center midfield, a quick 1-2 touch pass out of it, and then get the ball to the attack.
It was Charlie Adams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the goal scorer, and Adams. A swarm of bees all over Max Stiegwart. The foul is called. Quick restart. Will Kidd moving inside and past Espelin. Forward for Oliver. Nice pass. Tough first touch, however.
He's
Cleared out, and Lacrosse will win the throw-in off the deflection.
This has not been his first half. But the nice part is, he's got plenty of time to fix it. You have that security blanket of 1 goal. Now maybe he can relax a little bit and not press, and see if he can't sharpen things up a tad.
Rodriguez jostling with Haight. Haight wins that battle, throw in Minneapolis City. There's Oliver. First touches tonight for number 9 have been a struggle. Now Stigward.
Good battle.
Ooh.
Unlucky. You'd have to believe he was off for the races if he would have pulled that one off.
So close to having some space to run with it. Dylan Moore.
It's a good first touch.
Now Parslow. Step in by Kent, but Rodriguez able to get forward with it. Now Kent rebounding and recovering. And the corner is awarded. Looked like Rodriguez may have given him a little tug as Rodriguez hit the turf, as Kent then fell and was unable to keep the ball in.
I think that might have gone out of bounds if he didn't touch it.
Kenhammer on the ball from the corner. Second corner opportunity for Lacrosse. Quick in and out by Haight. Kenhammer winning the foul. Justin Oliver getting frustrated. 5 goals, 3 assists last year for the Crows. Second season with Minneapolis City. Committing the foul there. Not happy with the referee at this point.
I don't know why. Would he be unhappy with the referee about? He fouled the guy.
Nobody likes getting caught.
Right, yeah.
Kenhammer into the box. Or delivery. Now Haight again with the clearance.
He was caught with both hands.
It'll be Moore allowing that to cross the sideline. Throw in for Aris.
Both hands in the cookie jar on that last one.
Now Musette. And this might be a weekly thing, but my disclaimer that I was not given pronunciations for the visiting team, so Musette.
We actually got a roster in somewhat ample time this week.
And for that, we thank Aris.
Let's pick the ball up here and punt it. Oh.
Garcia. Haight making a run on the outside. It'll be Oliver here in midfield. Moving forward now, Haight has it. Crossing in. Only one near it was Alamos.
He didn't have a whole lot of friends making runs for him once he got that ball.
Will Kidd, Whitney Brown, both about 6 yards behind across his back line. Will Kidd running about 50 yards before giving up on it. Now Rodriguez. Here's Parslow near side.
It might have been a cross attempt.
May have been a mistake.
Yeah.
Goal kick, Minneapolis City.
I can't hear what they're saying down on the field, but it didn't seem like anyone really told him how much time he actually had to maybe take an extra touch.
He gave the thumbs up to his teammate Kenhammer, who was wide open on the near side as a passing opportunity. Now Stigward.
We're now 2 weeks into the season, and I'm really liking the chemistry I'm seeing out of Max Stigward and Charlie Adams in the deep end of our midfield.
And that was the change. Ian Smith moving on from the club. He had been in that spot for a number of seasons, played a number of games for the Crows. Adams, typically right back, in a lot of cases defensively for the Crows. Steps into Ian Smith's spot.
That's where Charlie played at Gustavus University. College? University? Gustavus.
Gustavus Adolphus College.
College. Okay, got it. You tell I'm not from around here.
It's okay.
I mean, Augsburg was college last time we're here. Now they're a full-fledged university.
As a native of Mankato, I tried to avoid St. Peter at all costs. Gustavus, however, a beautiful campus and an institution of higher learning. A cultivator of guys like Charlie Adams, fighting for the throw-in and winning the throw-in, the Gustavus alum. Now Oliver, nice footwork. And now forward for Kidd, Frabler with the header. Otherwise, Kidd was in alone.
There's been some good bits of individual play for lacrosse, and
turnover by Stiegwart. Now it's Baltiti for Rodriguez, trying to get the right foot just over the crossbar.
What I was trying to say before that happened was that there's been a couple good bouts of individual play for lacrosse, but what they really haven't tried to do is make any combinations together. They've had some opportunities to do that, but it's been a lot of long ball up top to a forward. Part of that could be clearing things out and trying to get the defense a chance to move up and support the attack. But I believe they have the opportunity to kind of play out of this. They just haven't really showed it yet.
They have some one trick to them right now, and that is trying to push you forward, beat you on the outside. Although we did see the first bit of combo play between Baltiti and Rodriguez up top after the Stiegwart turnover. Now Nieto. Kent with a body in front of it. Haight attempting to clear it out. Dangerous pass inside by Haight to Kent, who is there in time. And we set. No foul given. Now Kenhammer. Haight tracking him. A slide in the box. Will the... Ooh. No penalty given. No penalty given. Corner awarded to Lacrosse. Very much a coin flip decision by the referee.
I think the
better vantage point than us, however.
I think the reason why he didn't call the penalty was because even though he did get brought down, there was nowhere he was going to be able to go.
Now Nieto into the box. Luegi bobbling the ball. Luegi able to corral it.
But yeah, I don't think there was any advantage for him when he was brought down there because he kind of dribbled himself into the end line. But let's just say that we got away with a squeaky situation there.
Olsen now, Will Kidd out to Adams. Back again to Olsen. He'll have to retreat. Counter attacking opportunity stymied by Lacrosse. Oliver making the turn. Harslow in. Now Kenhammer forward to Baltiti. He'll cross it, trying to find Rodriguez. It's Garcia with the foot. Now headed back in by Kenhammer and busted out by Adams. Throw in for Lacrosse.
It's another situation where a simple mistake in a dangerous part of the field leads to a very dangerous counterattack for Lacrosse. You have to think that if this continues to be a pattern of our back line losing the ball when they're trying to move forward, that Coach Van Benskoten's going to have to make some sort of adjustment in the second half.
Now a volley by Kenhammer, and it has to be pushed over.
Well, he's saying he didn't touch it. I thought he touched it.
I thought that Luegi got a hand on it. He is awarded the goal kick. If you ask Luegi, he'll say whatever is in his favor. So,
I mean, there is a big beam in my way.
Play moves on.
So, but it looked like he did get a hand on it.
Confidence certainly building in the attack for Lacrosse. The lead at this stage, 36th minute at Edor Nelson Field, goes the way of the home team, Minneapolis City. On the 23rd minute goal from Whitney Brown, who has the ball now passing outside to Will Kidd.
Good overlapping run by Olsen.
Now into the box will be Parslow or Alamos. Poor communication. Alamos does end up handling it. Now delivering it to Parslow. Poor pass turned over.
Got numbers.
Oliver outside to Kidd.
Oh, good move.
Now forward, he does have some space. Adams at the top of the box fighting with Espelin. No foul given there either.
Call it even.
Very much a 50-50 proposition. No malice intended. Well done by the referee to allow play on. Valtide the other way.
Right now, Minneapolis City's shape is all over the place. They need to get behind the ball and get reorganized, or Lacrosse is going to end up being able to slip one through here. Like, that pass should never happen if Minneapolis City is in its right shape.
Now Brown trying for Whitney.
He showed that run first, and then much like the last time with Oliver, he decided to make the opposite, the alternative run off of it.
If you look like you're going to go, you better go.
Right, exactly. That's how interceptions are thrown, Eric. Got to run the route tree.
Frabler.
Oh, unlucky.
Parslow. Nieto all over the field tonight thus far. Omar Nieto. Valtidi. Now Pike on the outside. Back to Nieto. A couple of 11s. Getting after it. Martin Brown winning that one. Light starting to come on. Overcast evening in Minneapolis on the campus of Augsburg University. Go Aggies, go Crows.
Citizens are getting into it a little bit.
Nice job by Kidd taking over. Olsen with it. Now Brown, he'll be flags up for offside.
That was another case where the offensive player ran past the defender. I mean, it seems as if the linesman maybe is just looking at the end of the play and not where it's beginning.
Difficult vantage point for up here in the booth. Felt like he may have been onside. Ken Hammer.
Good step by Mark Haight. I will say, much like with Dakota Fusion last week, Lacrosse has leveled up from last year. They are they're definitely showing that they're trying to do some things as opposed to sitting back, but they've definitely leveled up in the talent that they brought.
Very much an improvement. Nice job by Dylan Moore. Turnover, now Nieto. Cross into the box. Ooh, Aaron Pike taken out by Aaron Olsen. Very much incidental contact. Goal kick for Minneapolis City. Tough pass from Oliver. Easily handled by Parslow. Now Rodriguez with some space. Nice job being assertive. Luwagi. First start for the Crows.
No one is talking to our center midfield on those passes.
Now a shot from distance. Kenhammer testing Luwagi. Yes, Troy Luwagi is paying attention.
I don't think Coach Ben Benscoen is going to be very happy at halftime, Eric. There's been a lot of good moments, not a lot of good execution.
If I'm the head coach, I'm worried about, in some cases, the lack of urgency and decision-making with passes in the midfield. And you mentioned the communication. We've seen it several times tonight. Stigwart's out on an island by himself. He has no idea that he's getting closed down. And part of that is he's got to be faster. The other part of it is somebody's got to help him out. Now Oliver. Nice idea for Kidd. It's Frabler. Clear it out. Now Oliver on the ball again. Final 5 minutes of the first half. 1-0 Minneapolis City. Crows trying to start the season 2-0. Whitney Brown with a turn. And a free kick in a very dangerous spot.
Very much what we talked about last week. His hold-up play has been fantastic to begin the season. And that's a great example of it.
And he's able to draw that foul physical connection with Musette. Musette, members of lacrosse, pleading their case. I've usually found that once the whistle is blown and the foul is called, that's kind of it.
It's usually like also once the card is out of the pocket, there's no going back from that.
And Martin Brown, your player to watch, left foot, about 22 yards. Let's see how they handle this. Stigwart there as well.
I'm pretty sure he's going to have to, Max is going to have to.
And just over the crossbar, left side of the net.
I would have bet $1,000 that Martin was taking that. But it was set up for what we talked about in the player to watch. One of his sweet left-footed free kicks. But, hey, maybe we'll get another one.
A lot of time left in this one. Not a lot of time left in the first frame. 43rd minute. Plus whatever stoppage time may exist. Feels like 1 or 2 minutes at the very max.
Yeah, only that one injury to Pike and
then
not
the goal.
And then the
That's
goal,
it.
yeah. Maybe 1 minute. Maybe we just call it even.
Perfect. Brown to Haight. Now forward for Martin Brown. Too far.
Once again, another great hold-up play and check back 2 run from Whitney Brown. He doesn't have the size of your typical number 9, but he does have the strength to be able to hold play up.
Now through to Oliver. Kidd trying to make his way into the box. Now through, and Alamos able to deflect it over the end line. It will be a corner late stages first half for Minneapolis City. You can tell Oliver trying to be patient as Will Kidd and Whitney Brown sprinted to supply help in the 18. He does win a corner. And it's Oliver with it now. Stigwart near. Short corner played to Stigwart. Now to Oliver. Right foot in the net, ooh, curving just wide right.
That would have been a nice one to sneak in there. He hasn't been having his best game today. That one would have been a definite confidence booster. But it was like the first goal from Whitney Brown. Similar area and through traffic.
Very good idea from Oliver. And you mentioned his first touch has been off all night. Whitney Brown offside. Flag is up again.
That one was definitely not offside. But we have to go with the decision that was made. So we just keep making that run.
It's their world. The rest of us are just living in it. Quick restart from Alamos over his head, over the head of Parslow. And the whistle is blown.
All right, no stoppage time.
First half comes to a conclusion. Edor Nelson Field here in Minneapolis. Minneapolis City Crows fans in attendance on a Friday night feeling good about themselves through the first 45. It is 1-0 in favor of the Crows. 23rd minute goal from Whitney Brown. Didn't get paid off on the score sheet last week. He does in short order. Beautiful right-footed curving ball on the ground. Makes its way past Alamos for the lead, and that's where we sit here at halftime. And before we go to a short break, the things that we had talked about in the open, John, whether it was building off the momentum of last week, clean sheet, can't argue with that. Uwagi hasn't conceded. That's a good thing. But finish. I think as we get together in a few minutes and we break things down into the second half, that'll be a topic of conversation that requires some attention.
Absolutely.
From head coach Van Benschoten and those Crows players in the dressing room.
But you have the firepower on the bench to be able to insert and try to get more goals on the board. So we'll see. Let's take a quick break and come back.
Yeah, firepower on the bench, including Sekou Kroma. You have I believe, a 17-year-old on the roster right now, Kevin Andrews. I just watched him walking his way back. Substitution opportunities. Ultimately, when you get to come out of the break with a lead, that's good things. You have stuff to work with. So,
yep, absolutely.
Minneapolis City over La Crosse, 1-0 at the break. We'll be back with you from Edor Nelson Field shortly. All right, here we are. Pleasantries exchange, second half ready to begin. La Crosse on the ball at center field. Rodriguez. And then Baltide, number 18, with his back facing towards us here at Edor Nelson Field. Minneapolis City SC Soccer brought to you in front of a live studio audience here in Minneapolis. John Bisworm by my side. I'm Eric Nordquist. Producer 9 to noon on KFAN. Just a free sports radio plug. Getting your way on a Friday night. Second half in progress. 1-0. Minneapolis City with the advantage. 23rd minute. It was a goal by Whitney Brown, his first of the 2019 campaign. And now the goal scorer has it again. It's Nieto. Nice job tracking back to make life difficult for him. Now it's Kidd and Espelin. Little bump and grind up in the club. And the free kick will go the way of La Crosse.
It looks as if Coach Van Benschoten was listening into our little halftime chat, Eric. There's 3 offensive players warming up right now.
Uh-oh. I'm seeing a Sekou Kroma. I'm seeing
Kevin
Andrews.
And everyone's favorite track star, Tim Wills.
Tim Wills. You doubted him last week. I never doubt.
As soon as I did that, then he ran right past the guy.
Who quickly caught up to him. But that's beside the point now. Rodriguez fishing his way through traffic.
Good
Adams
tackle.
with the big slide. Espelin. Doesn't appear to be any changes for either team at this stage. Bunch of all the familiar faces still on the pitch. Are you a pitch guy or a field guy?
I mean, it depends.
I'm a field guy personally, but it's interchangeable. I'm not against pitch.
I mean, the podcast that we do for the show, if those of you who are watching don't listen, it's called The People's Pitch. And it's available on iTunes.
It is indeed, yes.
For that, I am a pitch guy.
Because it's in the title, you have to be.
Yep, I like field.
I know there's at least one gentleman watching this stream from England. His name's Andy. He definitely prefers pitch. But enough of that. 48th minute. Throw in Minneapolis City. Whitney looking for brother Martin, who has it now. Left foot forward for Whitney. It's Frabler.
Oh, almost into Highway 94 there.
Not fooling around with that. He'll clear that well out into the street. Quick restart. Now Oliver. Nice scoring opportunity shortly before half. Now he can't get the ball off his foot, but he wins a foul.
You making bets now?
23, 24 yards from frame. Let's see who takes it this time.
I got a pretty good idea who it is.
Martin gave way to Stigwart last time in the first half. Feels like Martin Brown puts a left foot on it this time. And the shot on net, and a goal! An absolutely beautiful free kick tally from Martin Brown, the player to watch coming into tonight's match. And that left foot curls it over the wall and just past Alamos.
I hate to say
Valiant effort.
I hate to say I told you so, but
And it is 2-0, 49th minute.
last year
It's the Brown brothers, a goal apiece.
Last year, Martin's, I believe, scored 2 or 3 goals off of set pieces. It's one of his strengths, and it's something that last year we added on to our offense was don't bring us down in that part of the field because we have a dangerous kick taker. 2 years ago, I recall when we played against Duluth, when he did score our only goal on this ground, they actually put a 6th man on the wall to combat his free kick, and he still made it. So I think maybe we should continue to let him take those.
Martin Brown more than a handful of goals just a year ago with his first of the 2019 and his first match with the Crows here in this year's short, young season. 2-0 Minneapolis City. And if we were looking for things to spark, a team with a lead at half, feeling good about that, need to clean things up. We talk about finishing and connectivity in the attacking third and all of those things. Nothing jumpstarts a team with something from the spot like that from Martin Brown. Yeah. Beautiful goal from Martin Brown.
A goal 4 minutes in.
Sneaky speed from Adams. Will Kidd with miles of space if he can get going. It's Moore closing him down.
That was good recovery defense by Crosse.
Dylan Moore and Aaron Pike as part of that recovery and defense.
Now you're starting to see a little bit more smarter possession by the Crows. They absolutely had every opportunity to put the pedal on the gas, but they pulled it back to keep possession and try to find a different area of attack.
And they're finding it now with Stigwart thinking about a left foot. Now flipping it forward. Dangerous now, a right foot opportunity potentially from Oliver. Nice job by Frabler, not giving him a look at net. Now on the counter, it's Nieto with tons of space. Through to Rodriguez. Oof, poor first touch. And taken over by Minneapolis City.
Smart play by Mark Height to win the throw in there. But that was a great recovery run by Charlie Adams, about 30 yards to try to help stop that attack.
Despite any deficiencies on the field, however, you have to give Lacrosse credit. They can get going on the counter quickly. Looks like it's going to be a free kick.
A little confusion on which way we're facing here.
There we go, arm up. Yeah. It will be Lacrosse with the opportunity. That's one thing that's impressed me, the speed of Lacrosse on those counters, but what you saw there is how quickly it was Kent, it was Haight. You had 3 or 4 guys in white able to get back behind the ball and settle themselves. Nice job defensively by Minneapolis City. Long delivery there from Kenhammer, and it is Luegi who tracks it down. Danger averted. Now Max Kent. 2 goals in 24 previous games as a member of Minneapolis City. That includes the one in the opener last week against Dakota. Long ball for Will Kidd now on the far side. Parslow there defensively. One, two for Olsen. Saved by Alamos.
It's a great run by Aaron Olsen.
Nearly looked like a toe from Olsen putting that thing on net. And that was an awesome back and forth between Olsen and Martin Brown. Garcia.
Things are starting to open up again for the midfield for Minneapolis City.
Got to take advantage of it. Need to see urgency and assertive passing. As we see forward for, just too far.
It's like
Alamos out of net.
It's like Martin's got a little more pep in his step this half after that nice free kick.
Hard not to feel good about yourself after closing like he did. Now it's Baltide on the run. And it'll be Garcia ultimately that clears that out of play. It'll be a corner. Multiple corner opportunities tonight for La Crosse. Haven't been able to finish any of them. And as we were watching now, a substitute in the 54th minute. One of my favorites. Don't underestimate him. It's Tim Wills entering for Whitney Brown.
I think this is an opportunity to get Tim some more minutes. Last game he came on kind of in the waning moments of the game. But
he came on in a similar situation, though. It was a 2-0 lead for Minneapolis. And he's a guy maybe you look at more in smart possession. You know, he knows how to handle himself up top.
Good hold-up play.
Slows the game down a bit. So he returns to the field in a very similar position now.
Also gives the opportunity for Whitney to be able to get a little bit of a break, put in a good shift, scored a goal.
Get your feet up and enjoy the evening.
Did his job.
He can just make his way to Palmer's now, really, after scoring in the 23rd minute.
I think he could be calling ride.
Free kick opportunity. It will be Baltide on the ball. Right foot is just too high.
That hit my car.
And it is indeed into the parking lot.
We have our first substitution for La Crosse.
And it looks like it is Kendhammer leaving. Waiting for a number. And we'll get you that name here just momentarily. It's Oliver forward for substitute. Tim Wills with his first touch, number 8. There'll be a throw-in for Minneapolis City. Quick restart. Now Brown stepping forward with just out of his control. Now forward, bodied by Musette. No whistle called. Play on. Incidental collision. No harm. And
heads
an
up.
awful delivery from Alamos leads to a throw-in for Minneapolis City. 2-0, 57th minute. That's a tough kick and an instant yellow card. That'll be Evan Espelin with the yellow card in the 57th minute.
Yellow card caution from the Crosse Aris, number 14, Evan Espelin.
Still trying to get a number on that player who came in. He's
still waiting. If he could just turn around, just look at Will Kidd for 5 seconds, please. Now it's Garcia. There's Wills. The aforementioned substitute has the ball.
Number 7.
And, of course, we don't have a number 7 on our roster sheet.
Classic NPSL, right?
I'm going to tell you that we got options here. He could be Matt Espelin, potential relation to Evan Espelin. Could be Vicente Seifer. Could be Christian Milner, Colton Altringer, Rayleigh Schultz, or Hunter Domeyer. Maybe we'll never know. What we do know is it's 2-0 in favor of Minneapolis City.
Good step by Martin Brown Jr.
That's Seifer right there, number 10 in the game.
Looks like we're going to get some substitutions here coming in for Minneapolis City.
Once again, Minneapolis City getting very much casual in the back there. Dangerous passes across goal. And another turnover. Baltiti with space. He's pushing forward. Now it's Seifer. Cross into the box over the head of Rodriguez. Kept in play. Rodriguez now with another opportunity to touch. A right-handed shot. Not enough room to curl it in. Goal kick, Minneapolis City. The visitors threatening here a bit, John. Again, it feels like, and I've used these terms a couple of times in the last 20 minutes, but urgency and being assertive with the passing. 2-0 lead for Minneapolis City. Led to some uncomfortable moments against Dakota Fusion last week. We're seeing a bit of that right now against La Crosse.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Eric. I think that, getting that second goal obviously is a breath of fresh air and gives you a little bit more confidence, but it also can't be a source of complacency, and that seems to be what we're seeing right now. But perhaps with the substitutions that are coming in, that'll change.
Right now, Tim Wills, the lone substitute, used by Minneapolis City, replacing Whitney Brown. We do see a couple of guys near midfield, including Kevin Andrews, a guy that I'm excited to see on the field.
The youngest member of the team.
17 years old. He can't vote, but he can score. Olsen, one-man wrecking crew, still possessing.
It was only a matter of time. He got hit about 4 times.
And he even wins a free kick. That's some hard work by number 2. Why he wears the armband, excuse me. No substitutions allowed yet for Minneapolis City. It's Haight forward for Kidd. Flag is up, however. Not acknowledged immediately by the referee. That has to be the 6th or 7th offside call against Minneapolis City through the 61 minutes of play.
Good combination play again. Just that final ball isn't quick enough to play it into the attacker, making that run, staying onside. So it's like
potential curtain call, and claps for Martin Brown as he is seeing his night end early.
Number 11, Martin Brown Jr., as well as number 9, Justin Oliver.
And then it is number 26, making his debut officially for the Crows, Kevin Andrews, replacing, it appears, Justin Oliver, and then Nick Hutton, number 14, replacing Justin Oliver.
So Coach Ben Benskoten basically inserted an entire new front four.
Finish, finish, finish is what they say. Olsen back to Adams. If you could, John, tell me more about Kevin Andrews. It's intriguing to me. Local kid, high school kid, at one point actually left Minnesota for opportunities with at least a couple MLS development academies.
Sure.
And now he's here and he's with the Crows. How did that happen?
So essentially, his time with the Development Academy came to an end. He started out his Development Academy career with the Houston Dynamo Development, and then he moved on to the kind of powerhouse Sporting KC Development Club, but ultimately was able to come back into the fold, come back home, and we were the outlet for him to be able to continue his trajectory on to playing at the next level. And he doesn't look like a 17-year-old. He's definitely got a solid frame and plays with the confidence that you need out of a young player, essentially playing against men.
Excited to see what he does, at least in this half hour or more of opportunity, and the work that he'll put in as he's just getting roughed up on the far side there by a couple members of lacrosse. The Waggy, actually just moments ago, got out alive with a terrible pass to Charlie Adams in the box. So thankfully that resulted
not what you
in
really
minimal danger.
Don't really want to have those errant passes inside your 18.
Hutton able to make the turn. Nice job by Dylan Moore of lacrosse stepping in there, forcing the issue. Now it's Adams with some space and some time to slow it down if he so chooses. That's Nieto. Providing the deflection, throw in Minneapolis City. Lacrosse hoping to get their first points of the season after a loss to Sioux Falls a week ago. 4-0, I've been informed, was the score.
Unlucky pass.
Just too far for Will Kidd there. They face a tough challenge, though, down 2-0 on the road against Minneapolis City. Haven't lost an NPSL regular season match since the summer of 2017 after their 10-0-4 campaign in 2018 and the victory last week. Fancy footwork from Tim Wills there. Results in a turnover.
Good step by Charlie Adams.
Now Garcia resetting things. Kent stepping up. Now Kidd. Through to Wills. And through to Olsen. An opportunity to cross that thing.
Oh, unlucky.
It's Frabler. Nice job by number 20 of lacrosse, keeping Olsen from being able to deliver that thing into more dangerous territory. Does win a corner for Minneapolis City, however.
I mean, if he hadn't gotten that foot in there were 3 white shirts waiting for it.
Ready to feast and potentially go up 3-0. It'll be Haight taking the corner. Delivers it in. No problem for Alamos. Looking for a quick restart. He's going long for Baltiti. A little bit too much hang time on that one, though. He is able to kind of shoulder shove his way past Adams, who now recovers and takes the ball over. Adams aggressive as always in the middle. Nice job by number 25. Now it's Hutton.
Nick Hutton making his 2019 debut.
Productive 2018 in opportunities that he had for the most part, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, he's just that energy guy. He works super hard. You know, he's got very good speed. Was a track athlete at the University of Minnesota as opposed to being a soccer player in college. So he's an athlete, but he also can play soccer.
Another substitution preparing to come on for lacrosse. In the meantime, it's Moore with it. Now Garcia handling business for the Crows. Outside to Kevin Andrews. Tough go of it thus far for Andrews. Very few touches. They've closed him out near the boundary.
Welcome to the show.
It's a man's game, Kevin. It's a man's game. 68th minute. It'll be Damian Baltide exiting. Sure, a frustrating night for him. as it is Matt Espelin replacing him, number 8. Matt Espelin replacing Baltide. Baltide with a few different moments. Good combo play with his forward mate Rodriguez at times. However, goose egg on the scoreboard. Didn't get everything accomplished that he wanted.
A lot of times the ball would go up to him and he'd be on an island by himself with trying to take on 2 and 3 defenders by himself. And we talked about that at the end of the first half, that Lacrosse has the ability to have good link-up play. They just weren't really connecting their midfield to their front line. A lot of balls coming in from the goalie or the defense long into a lone forward.
Well, and part of that is felt clear attention given, and it was very effective early on. They wanted to be behind the ball. They wanted to have 8 guys at least behind the ball at most moments. Referee calling play on initially. He will give the stoppage and a free kick to Nieto and Lacrosse. 69th minute. 2-0 Minneapolis City.
Some activity on the subs bench for Minneapolis City. Abdallah Ba and Kevin Hoof getting warm.
Nice job by Garcia to choose against passing that ball across goal. Being patient. Now Adams, harassed by Seifer. Hate.
Good first touch by Aaron Olson.
You had mentioned it in the first half, and Olson, who has been kind of a mainstay defensively for the Crows a number of seasons now, you'd have to say it was a difficult night at times, not only for him, but it was Max Kent and Garcia with some early season, like you say, rust that they had to work out. But what we've seen from him, not only defensively, but his work getting up the side and participating in the attack, I think solid week 2 for Mr. Olson.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, he's a battler. You know, he's going to give you all he's got. He's got a great engine. He'll get forward. He'll come back. He'll take care of his defensive responsibilities. The kind of thing you need out of a captain.
Very much so. Adams now.
I thought that might have been a foul call, but I've actually thought that the referee's done a fantastic job tonight letting these guys play.
I have no problem with not seeing a whistle there. Adams was he was out of control. he was trying to control the ball. He mowed down Dylan Moore, and here we are, and he sat on him. Adams sat on a guy. There's not a lot that Charlie Adams hasn't done through 2 matches in the 2019. Olson forward to Kidd. '71st minute. Thus far being blessed without precipitation.
Yes, I mean, we're in the booth, so let it rain.
I didn't bring an umbrella, John, and I got to walk to my car. Andrews, and the flag is up again.
That was another case where I actually did think that he ran past a defender. I might get my prescription checked here.
I've had LASIK, but I guess it's unreliable without the advantage of being on that line. I've been told again this is the 2nd game in a row. There is no VAR. There's no VAR.
Not in the budget.
In the NPSL. But there is opportunities to attend Minneapolis City home matches. Get to MPLSCitySC.com and take advantage of your chance to see the Crows in person. I know you love hearing me. I know you love hearing John. No doubt about that. I think there's a consensus there.
Yep.
But see it in person here at Edor Nelson. Home matches, and find the entire 2019 Summer of Love schedule for the Crows. MPLSCitySC.com. Delivery into the blocks. Deflected, I believe, by Andrews or Hutton. Nieto trying to do everything on his own. Nice flick by Andrews, just too far for Haight. And it's Musette. Now Seifer. And that's Espelin, Matt Espelin. Nieto. Counter opportunity with some space if they could take advantage of it. Stigwart slows it down. Now being harassed in the back as Kent does thread a needle to Adams, who looks like he mishandled it briefly. Ooh. Gotta be a free kick there, and it is.
Charlie Adams is always on the ground.
And we saw that a lot last week against Dakota Fusion, where you get to this stage of the game, you're frustrated, now you start reaching, and we saw a lot of late feet into ankles trying to defend passes last week as things started to get chippy. One of the first of those this week against Adams, who has spent as much time on the turf as he has on his feet through 2 weeks, but he keeps battling. That's why he's in such a great spot. As you mentioned, playing more in the natural position that he played in college at Gustavus, and now he's providing that help here for the Crows. Throw in for Lacrosse. Nice job by Olsen. Quick feet for him. Now Will's centering it for Hutton, and it's Stigwart. Not threading the needle. Kidd there trying to find Hutton just inside the arc of the box. Rodriguez keeping it in play impressively enough. His teammate, however, cannot, and it will be Minneapolis City's ball. Now it's Kidd, short space, trying to get that free kick, and the penalty has been called. And I believe
Stigwart might be taking it.
And that's Espelin, Evan Espelin, I believe, number 14, who stuck the foot in there, who is playing on a yellow card. Received a yellow in the 57th minute. But no card given here as Stigwart with an opportunity to go up 3-0. He closes 3-0, Minneapolis City. Smooth, clinical finish from the spot for Max Stigwart. His first goal of the 2019. 3-0, 76th minute. Good vibes for the Crows, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, I didn't really see the foul, to be completely honest. But
it was a desperate. I mean, he stuck his foot in there in desperation.
But Max puts it down, puts it in the corner. There was no shenanigans like we saw last week from the spot.
Like any good winger, you get in the box, you fall like a feather, and there you go.
We also in the
nice work by Will Kidd, by the way.
In the post-goal celebration, we see that Mark Haight made way for Abdallah Ba at the left back position.
Abdallah Ba in the mix. My eyes in the sky, John Bisworm. Abdallah Ba coming on in relief, I believe, a week ago, now makes his appearance here tonight. The cool thing about that moment, though, is I joke about Will Kidd hitting the turf, is that's what he's been so effective at all night. Absolutely. Is he pushes the pace on the boundary, cuts inside, frustrating Espelin. We've seen that 1v1 all night. Mm-hmm. And at some point now, you saw in a moment of what I call desperation, Espelin, I believe, sticks his foot in, and Kidd is paid off with the penalty. Which I feel like if you earn the penalty, you got to take it. But I guess Stigwart.
See, I come from a different camp.
Okay.
Usually your emotions are high because you were taken down and you're a little amped up. You need to have that other cooler head step in and take it. I mean, even if you are the best kick taker, and you get brought down, you need to have someone who doesn't have the involvement in the play go up and take it. But that's just me.
That's why you run the team, and I'm just a rube. I'm just a fan. Everything working out as it is. 3-0 lead in favor of Minneapolis City, now entering the 78th minute at Edor Nelson Field. We're seeing even more substitutions in line for Minneapolis City. I see a guy over there that everybody knows. It's Ben Wexler. Is that Kevin Hoof there by his side?
It looks as if it is Kevin Hoof. There's a whole lot of substitutions going on over here. It's like Kevin Hoof maybe making way. Let's see here.
Now Espelin. It's Adams and Stiegwart for Wexler and Hoof.
Yep.
And then I see Espelin, number 14, leaving for Lacrosse.
Coming off the field for Crosse Aris.
And it's number 22, Colton Altringer.
Colton Altringer. On the field for Minneapolis City, number 3, Kevin Hoof, and number 21, Ben Wexler, replacing number 7, Matt Stewart.
Conversations taking place now.
And number 25, Crosse Aris.
Referee hoping to avoid any potential dust-ups in the final 15 minutes of play here.
Don't need that happening. It's been a pretty clean game so far.
Very much. Classy effort by both squads. But you do have to acknowledge, you take a 5-hour, 4-hour drive from Lacrosse to Minneapolis and you're down 3-0. That's a tough ride back home.
It really is.
Another corner for Lacrosse. They're bringing everybody into the mix now. Be Rodriguez taking it from the far corner. Headed out by Kent. Now Seifer with a long right foot. Thought about it maybe a bit too much as he skies that one into the parking lot. 2 vans and a Jetta. Victims of Seifer's long ball.
Might have been a Passat.
80th minute, final 10 minutes of this one here at Edor Nelson. Minneapolis City very much in control of this one at 3-0. Abdallah Ba losing control of that pass. Throw in Lacrosse. Very much in control of an opportunity, though, are the Crows to improve to 2-0 in the 2019 campaign. Now Andrews showing some of that speed. And a nice, simple pass to Hutton, who's able to track it down. There's something effortless about the way that Kevin Andrews operates.
Mm-hmm.
You can see why at least a couple development academies very much giving their attention to him. Unfortunately for him, the play hasn't carried itself over in his direction very often thus far.
But he's still making the right moves to get the ball, which is fantastic to see from a younger player.
Decision making. Part of this game, there's an intuitive element to it that you either have or do not have. And he clearly, from an intuitive standpoint, some of the basics, he's got it. Now Will's flicking it outside to Olsen. Now forward to Kidd with a mile of green in front of him. If he can control it, he cannot. Now Will's in the middle. Now to Olsen. Forward, it's Frabler sticking a foot in and clearing. Here's Ba. He just allows it to go out. It will be a throw-in for Minneapolis City. The assistant deciding which way he should point his flag for Minneapolis City. He figures that out, and here we are. It's Hoof putting a boot on it. Forward for Hutton. Alamos plays it with his chest as he runs out of the box to take that opportunity away. Now odd numbers forward. It's Abdallah Ba hoping to put a left foot on it. He has to regroup. Now overlapping behind him is Andrews. Here's Wexler, the wily veteran. Now switching outside to Kidd. Inside once again. Now the right foot off the leg of Frabler. Should be a corner awarded. Goal kick. There must have been a deflection off of a Minneapolis City player.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Good attempt from Wexler to try to keep that in play, though.
I'm amazed. Sometimes I'm amazed when the same thing works all night, if that makes sense. And it's a very simple maneuver for Will Kidd. I'm going to run you down the line, and guess what?
I'm going to cut back.
I'm going to cut inside. And it has worked all night on Evan Espelin, drew a penalty, and now it is working on Mr. Altringer.
Well, it doesn't look like it's going to work anymore. We're going to get a substitution here. We're going to get the first look for 2019 with Siku Chroma coming on for Will Kidd, who's not taking a expedient path to the bench.
That's okay. He can take his time. He ran a lot tonight. Siku Chroma. Nice debut and an opportunity for him.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a very short shift tonight. So he should be energized and ready to make the most of it. 85th minute. 5 minutes in stoppage time are between this moment and victory for Minneapolis City. Leaders 3-0. Wexler battling more. Now Ba and Hoof assisting. That's Mesut.
I believe we're now out of players eligible to come into the game for Minneapolis City.
We may be out of extra balls to play with as well because every single one of them appear to be in the street. Ball Kid's getting a workout tonight. Bob puts it back in play.
Another substitution for lacrosse. Looks like number 13.
That would be a Christian Milner.
I have no idea who he came in for.
I believe he is replacing Alberto Rodriguez. Long night for him, number 19 up top. Similarly to number 18 is made for the most type, Baltide. A lot of running. A lot of close connections to no avail. Seifer trying to get on the ball there, and he'll draw. No, and that'll be a free kick for Minneapolis.
He might have laid a pick on one of the Minneapolis City defenders.
You can tell the Crows fan base is used to victories because you don't hear one of those "you can't do that" chants. They're just chill, enjoying a beautiful Friday night. As Chroma gets his first opportunity, and it's Frabler who comes in like a freight train and blows the whole thing up. It's a yellow card in the 87th minute for Addison Frabler, number 20.
That's what you call in the business a no-doubter.
Absolutely. Part of it out of necessity, to be honest. Chroma had everybody beat, and when he puts the wheels on, very speedy is number 23, Siku Chroma. Now Ba surveying his options inside the 18. Alamos instructing the two-man wall. Flick inside. Oh, near header. Tim Wills had goal all over his mind. Unfortunately, he whiffs on the heading opportunity. Minneapolis City still controlling. Now taking over on the far side. Chroma working his way back into the play and takes over again. Now it's Andrews on the boundary. Nice pass through traffic to Wexler in close range. Another foul and another yellow card. Referee feeling things getting more aggressive than they need to be on the field right now.
But what I like to see is that he's on the action. He's there to make the calls, and he's letting them play to a point where, like you said, not letting things get out of hand.
It'll be Ba with the free kick again. Into the box. On the backside, it's Garcia.
Somehow that stayed in.
And Jonah Garcia, by the way, that's how he scored his goal a week ago, if you remember, sneaking in on the backside of a free kick opportunity.
Yep.
No one had him, and in that case last week, certainly a more realistic opportunity to control and finish, as he did in the 43rd minute of the win against Dakota. But Garcia sneaky in the box, Jonah. 89th minute. Sand quickly going the wrong way in the hourglass for Lacrosse.
Kevin Andrews was definitely on right there.
But do we really know if he was onside?
No, we
Because
don't.
that flag. And an easy finish, Nick Hutton. Disastrous play from Lacrosse in their own end. Alamos out of net. Whether he was trying to supply an outlet, it's really indescribable what was happening. But Hutton is there to take out the garbage. It is 4-0 in the 89th minute, now approaching the 90th minute of regulation play. I'd venture to guess, and I don't know Nick Hutton that well. I didn't watch him in the U14s, let's say. I don't know if he scored an easier goal than what he did just there.
I mean,
But part of it's being in the right spot. Kudos to him. Absolute catastrophic defensively for Lacrosse. More battling and another free kick.
I'm not quite sure what the defenders were doing with Alamos there. They kind of left him hung out to dry.
I thought Alamos was out of his net to be an outlet.
And then the ball just went right past him.
I was wrong. I was wrong. They were passing it to Nick Hutton. That was the game plan. 4-0. We are now past 90 minutes, and now Hutton in alone again. And he's past Alamos, and it is 5. The meltdown in full effect for Lacrosse. 1-0 at the break. People in attendance asking for finish, finish, finish in week 2 at Edor Nelson Field. 4 second half tallies. And it is 5-0 Minneapolis City.
That's what you're going to get out of Nick Hutton, just the stick-to-itiveness and the drive to always be there.
You said he ran track?
Yeah, it looked like he did right there, didn't it?
Yeah, he outran a couple of people there. Altringer. That's the final whistle. 3 points, 5 goals, and the undefeated 2019 campaign continues for Minneapolis City SC. Victorious this evening. Lacrosse making their way back home, frustrated with a 1-0 deficit at halftime. They concede 4, 2 of them in inexplicable fashion in the waning moments of regulation time here. But they head home with no points and some things to clean up. John, as we continue on here, looking at what we wanted to see in the second half. We wanted to see, I guess, shaping up things defensively, better connectivity passing, the finishing angle of it, the frustrating nature of all the scoring opportunities, and it was always the last pass. A tough night for